Head teacher of leading public school says he will expel pupils who have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Well, that sounds entirely reasonable, doesn't it? And not the action of a despotic little shit who clearly never got laid until he was 37. Oh, that's not fair. I mean, why do you think they call him head teacher? He's clearly a total cocksucker. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Don't want to spoil my feelings about this complete and total arse piece too soon. The head teacher at a leading public school has said he will expel pupils who have a boyfriend or girlfriend and it is a distraction from their studies. Well, okay, that sounds entirely fair, doesn't it? Relationships can be a tad distracting. Almost as distracting as being expelled from school and having that expulsion as a permanent blotch on your record, forever tarring you as someone who did something terrible at school like smash windows, burning down sheds, or saying I like you to a member of the opposite sex. What monsters. Toby Belfield, principal at the $34,500 a year Ruthin school in North Wales, told staff he strongly disapproves of pupils striking up romances with each other. Oh God, that's a lot of money. That's more than I make in... Well, it's a lot. Make a support. And disapproving, what are you, a priest? I don't give a crap what you disapprove of. If it's not destructive and it isn't necessarily going to affect their work, what makes you think you should do anything about it? Aside from the fact you're a jumped up little tyrant. Also, if I paid 35 grand for a school and my kid got kicked out for falling for someone, I would need to smack the smug right out of whoever's responsible stupid fat face. He vowed to draw up a list of Year 11 or lower 6th students, usually aged between 15 and 17, who are in relationships and said that they can expect to find new schools in September. Making lists about what adolescents are in relationships with each other. That's not creepy at all, mate. Wait a second, is this a cover for the fact that you keep staring out into the schoolyard at kissing teens and sweating profusely? Because it's not working. Mr. Belfield said he will not hesitate to expel pupils who have any sexual contact in school and added that he will give worse university references to students with boyfriends or girlfriends. You are really mad about this, aren't you? You've jumped up little troglodyte. Are you upset little Jane Plain Facington told you no when you asked her out to the dance and turned up doing a classic 80s wilting violet, turned beauty queen, and then left with the boy who was way, way cooler than you? You just never will forgive Tim Tim, the head of the chess club, for that, will you? I do genuinely find your attitude kind of disgusting. I mean, seriously, if they have a sparkling record, but also the ability to have relationships, you're going to do your best to ruin their future prospects. What is wrong with you, you sad little man? In an email to staff, he warned teachers to be more vigilant about potential students' liaisons, adding, "School is not the place for romantic relationships, ever!" Yes, we know no one loves you in any setting, so how dare school sweethearts go on to lead happy, successful lives? And gotta make sure your staff are as creepily interested in teen sexual contact as you are, you big freak. His exact words: "I strongly disapprove of any boyfriend or girlfriend relationships, and it will always affect any university reference I write, meaning any student in a relationship will definitely get a worse reference from me. Relationships can start at university, not at Ruthin School. I will be talking to staff as in previous years. I will put together a list of any student with a boyfriend or girlfriend. These students, if in L6, lower 6th form, or F5, year 11, can expect to find new school in September." In case anyone was wondering about any possible redeeming context, no, he's an idiot. The dipshit added, "There are plenty of students that wish to attend Ruthin School without the diversion of romance. It makes me sick. And these students can replace those students who focus on BFGF relationships." Focus? What makes you think they can't focus on schoolwork and have a relationship? I mean, I know you can't stop thinking about their teenage love and it's distracting you from your work. But not everyone is you, mate. And let's be frank. Prove those relationships are having your claimed impact, and not the fact that you can't seem to get rid of your stiffy, but actual empirical data. And it should be on a case-by-case basis at that. There's more to a student's performance than who they fancy. I think being led by relationship Hitler would have a pretty big impact on my ability to learn. Worrying about whether he's going to jump out from around the corner and scream, "Don't touch each other, you dirty teenage bastards!" Shit sounds very stressful, man. Mr. Belfield, principal of the 700-year-old Ruthin school, has spoken of his desire to expel students because the school is oversubscribed. Desire might not be the best word to use in this context. And to have quotas to expel students, basically. Well, that's great. We all know those don't lead to insane protocols. He told the Daily Telegraph that any students who are found to be in relationships will not be summarily expelled. Rather, they will be given the opportunity to review their current romantic situation, and my belief is they and their parents will put their education first. Yeah, I'm sure you send them a letter titled, "I've been watching you," and then tell them they aren't allowed to do what comes naturally to every single teenager on the entire planet, all in the vain hope that it might push your stats up a tiny bit. Hint, it won't. In fact, this kind of Orwellian overreach is exactly the kind of thing that breeds dissent, and will certainly mean that students will, at the very least, hide any extracurricular activities they might be doing, and will probably do some fucked up shit now that their ability to have a relationship in a safe environment so that it can be kept an eye on has been removed. Great job, you utter cretin. Mr. Belfield explained why he felt so strongly about taking a tough stance on teenage relationships. "Parents chose Ruthin School because it's a top-ranking academic institution," he said. "In my experience, students who are in a relationship whilst at school are at danger of academically underachieving. Kids who participate in sports can get injured and thus are at danger of academically underachieving. Kids with pets have them die, causing emotional stress and thus are at danger of academically underachieving. Kids who walk outside can be hit by cars and thus are at danger of academically underachieving. This is a shit argument for doing anything, you frigging bellend. And even the idea that teen hormones are something that easy to control, or that you even should try. Ever heard of sexual repression? Of course you have, it's clearly your middle name. Therefore, if they devote their time to their studies rather than the emotional turmoil connected with teenage romance, they will achieve higher grades and go to better universities. This is the primary objective of the school, to enable them to fulfill their academic potential and go to the best universities in the world. Unless, of course, they get on your bad side and you will openly go out of your way to sabotage that school career. You are the epitome of the head teacher fascist, aren't you? Last year, he introduced a raft of new banning students from going to the park or restaurants, ordering takeaways, smoking and drinking, regardless of their age. Any student caught breaching the tougher policies should not expect to return in the next academic year, he said at the time. My God, it gets worse, doesn't he? What the actual hell? I mean, this can be taken two ways. Neither of them good. Either he's saying they can't do these things within school time, but can apparently do other things outside of school grounds. Or worse, he thinks he has the right to dictate what children, and more importantly, their fucking parents, can do with their kids on their own time. It's unbelievable. It would be bad enough with just the need he seems to have to micromanage relationships that will more than likely lead to these kids having messed up ideas of what healthy relationships look like, and the very notion that you could control the sexuality of teens proves this man isn't fit to run a bath, let alone a school. Wait, sorry, I don't want to make him think of naked people. I know he's so easily distracted. He might accidentally burn down an orphanage while screaming about how not having parents can be a danger to academically underachieving.